You know, if you're doing the fireworks displays early, such as those folks out there, it stands a better chance today of not being interrupted by rain or lightning or postponed or delayed, because tomorrow there is, unfortunately, a slightly better chance of storms. We'll dive into that forecast. First, though, we'll talk travel once again. Out the door this morning, if you're headed to GSP for a flight out west, a lot of heat, but without the humidity, a lot of sunshine, very spotty storms west of the Rocky Mountains. East of there, it is going to be very humid, very warm, and stormy at times for places like Chicago, Kansas City, Louisville, Pittsburgh, D.C. We are looking at spotty storms there, and then heading into New England, a little calmer up toward New York City and Boston, partly cloudy skies up that way. 67 in Asheville this morning, 64 in Hendersonville, 63 now in Brevard. We're looking at lower to middle 70s for most of the upstate. Again, those high clouds streaming in, going to make for a gorgeous sunrise any minute now. Looking dry, though, across the southeast. If you're driving nearby, maybe to Charlotte, over toward Raleigh, Columbia, Atlanta, things are looking good. There is an air quality alert, though, for Charlotte. So if you are headed over toward the Queen City, keep that in mind. Elsewhere, if you're headed to the beach, plan on excessive heat issues. We're looking at a heat advisory for places like Myrtle Beach and Florence, over toward Wilmington, North Carolina. These spots just immediately inland. You can see the actual coast not in this advisory, but inland spots could certainly see the heat index approach 110, much like Florida. If you're headed to Jacksonville, maybe toward Tallahassee, Tampa, Florida, still looking at those heat index problems there. Now, closer to home, our records to beat today, 99 at GSP, set just a few years ago in 2016. The high temperature forecast today, 95, so short of records. Asheville's record, again, 93, set back in 1970. Your high today at 88. The real issue, of course, the heat index. How is it going to actually feel? Not much higher than the air temperature in maybe Greenville at 97, but Spartanburg, Lawrence, Anderson, the farther south you head of 85, the higher the heat index potential, headed towards 103 in Greenwood in the Midlands. So Carolina Sky Meter rating, can't rate it perfection. It is an 8 out of 10, since we do have a lot of heat and humidity and a small storm chance. Most of that in the mountains today. Can't rule one or two of those out in the upstate, much like previous days. Thursday, 4th of July, starting dry, a little bit better chance of some storms developing in the afternoon, and they could last into the evening hours. 30% chance of rain and storms for 8 and 9 p.m. So some firework displays after sunset tomorrow certainly could be impacted. But overall here, we're looking at the 4th of July storms just possible, whereas Friday, the rain becomes a bit more likely. Not a washout, though, but the weather does stay unsettled into the weekend. We're looking at a 40 to 50% chance of showers and storms Saturday and Sunday, tapering slightly into Monday and Tuesday of next week.